thought we would do today is another personal pens video. So this is a series in which I go over my personal pens, the pens that I have in my collection that I have kept, that I love. And what I want to talk about today is a pen made by William Shakur. So at some point he created a triangular pen for me. I have that, I like that pen. Now, that's not this pen. I have put that pen in my personal pens video, so go to my website, you can find that. Excuse me. In this case, I had a specific question. I had in my possession a number 8 Reuleaux nib, which looks something like this. Now, it's just a number 8 nib, but most number 8 nibs are B.R.E, and I believe Reuleaux has actually ceased production of these number 8 nibs. I got one because B.R.E, who made a pen for me a long time ago, and he made a section for a number 8 B.R.E and a number 8 Reuleaux. Okay. Now I had that number 8 Reuleaux. When I use B.R.E.'s pen, almost invariably I use it with the B.R.E nib. So I had this Reuleaux nib lying around. I wasn't really sure what to do with it because Reuleaux number 8 pens are not that common. I mean, pens that take that nib are not very common. So I contacted William, who is my professional problem solver when it comes to pens, and I said, so here's my issue. I have this nib. Do you think theoretically you could build a pen around that? If I were to send you this nib unit, could you do something? And he said, obviously. I said, okay, well, make it so. So I sent him that nib unit. He didn't actually see it. Anyway, this came out. It took a little while to get it perfect, but he did. And now I have this beautiful pen. This is a specific model he does, which is based on a triangle with rounded off corners, much like the Omas 360. But there are a couple of improvements in my mind of this over the Omas 360. I love the 360. 360 Magnum is a beautiful pen. The only problem is it's an Omas pen. And I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. I love the Omas brand. The nibs are fantastic, but the pistons are very fragile. And the 360 is not necessarily super easy to just disassemble and lubricate, so that can lead to issues. This is fantastic. It's large, and one of the big improvements, I think, over the 360, although I find the 360 very comfortable, this has a section with kind of a slightly rounded facets in the section. I cannot begin to describe how comfortable this is. It fits exactly right. It's perfect. It fits exactly the way it should fit. I don't know how else to put it. William just nailed it. He nailed it. So, fantastic pen. The only pen I use with gray ink. I never use gray ink, but this is such a beautiful match for the material. So, I'll ink it up. I'll do a writing sample for you. I just absolutely love this pen. Beautiful large pen. I think it fits the number 8 Reuleaux nib perfectly. It's good. Again, that's a number 8 nib. It's a big pen, right? That's why the nib looks smaller. Now I have a pen that I can use with this nib. I love it. I'm very, very happy with it. It is beyond comfortable. It has an enormous ink capacity. I haven't measured it. It's large because it's a big barrel and it fills almost entirely with ink. So that's a lot of ink. It has a nice twist cap, so you don't have to worry about the cap cracking, which with 360s has happened. There's a lot of stress on those caps. I also have the feeling this is thicker than a 360 cap. So I kind of have a 360. I know it's not a 360, but I have one that is less fragile than the Magnum 360 I have. I just love it. I just absolutely love it. And this is a model that he commercially makes, so you can purchase this from him if you want one. Maybe not with the Reuleaux number 8 nib, but you can get it with a titanium number 8 nib from B.R.E. It's no problem. So, let's stop talking and let's just start playing. Let's see what this pen can do. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, why do I love this pen so much? I really love William's new engraving. Sorry, I hurt my little finger. That wasn't meant to freak you out. I love this engraving. I think it looks really cool. I love his logo. I think it looks very neat. What I wanted to do now is, obviously I'll talk about it, I'll do some writing with it, but I just want to show you. So this is the Omas 360 Magnum, which is already a large pen. Clearly this pen is even bigger, and if you want to see it, here's a Pilot Metropolitan for size. These are big pens. What I've always loved about the 360 is the triangular section. It looks like it would not be comfortable. It is actually very, very comfortable. I feel William has improved upon that by the facets he puts in that section. You'll see them a bit better now, I think, than what I showed before. Beyond comfortable. Large pen, very comfortable, doesn't feel clunky. One of the things I really find very interesting about William's work is that it continues to improve. It continues to get more refined, continues to get even better. It's a lot of fun to see that all unfold. Okay, so a piston-filled pen, right? There is a piston in there. Section number 8 JoWo nib. This is the 18K number 8 nib that I'm fairly certain JoWo doesn't make anymore, but correct me if I'm wrong. I know it looks like it's not a huge nib, but that's because it's such a big pen, right? Here we have the number 6 nib of the Omas. Bear in mind, this nib is seated somewhat deeply in there, and the JoWo number 8 nibs are fairly stocky. They're quite wide in the shoulders, so they don't look very long. It's more the sort of the width that they have. Okay, I love the gray. Notice the huge ink capacity here. All of this fills with ink, and it just draws up almost a complete fill, as you can see there. I've just inked it up. So very, very nice. Ebonite feed, which I love in these number 8 nibs. Piston turning knob, all nicely rounded, and yes, it does line up with the barrel. I just had it maybe over tighten a bit. Lines up very well. If you cap it, yes, cap and barrel line up well. Beautiful facets, and I love this translucent gray material William uses. You can see the nib, and yet it has just for me the right amount of cloudiness to it. So I think it looks really, really neat and really refined. Let's do a bit of writing. Try and convince you how much I love my pen, in case I wasn't clear. Again, it's just a natural fit. Your fingers slip in there. There is that rounded off stuff at the bottom too. For your middle finger, it fits perfectly. The ink here is Moonstone from Edelstein, which I've found to be a perfect match for the gray body of this pen. The nib is lovely. It's a broad. It's maybe not the world's broadest broad, but it's very, very smooth, very pleasant to use. And with the large ink capacity, I sometimes found converters to be a little dry, just because it's a smaller capacity, a small opening on a tight nipple. With this kind of big ink capacity right behind the nib, I find you can get some wetter writing. And then on top, maybe that's complete nonsense, and I'm imagining that, but that's how it feels to me. Ebonite feed too. It's wet, and it keeps going and going. And again, this gray I have found to be a very nice match. Not a flex nib, but there is a bit of springiness to it, which is quite nice. I just love using it. And triangular pens, they're not for everyone, right? The facets on a section, you even see that with something as simple as a Lamy Safari. The sections can be a bit prescriptive in how you have to hold it. With this pen, I found it no issue. You can very gently move the nib a little bit by unscrewing it a bit more if it doesn't fit your grip, but I have found it to be perfect for me. So it's really, really pleasant, and I just love it. Now, if you really want to post it, you can't. That's too bad for you. I don't feel a need to post this. Look at how big it is. There's no need to post this. It's great. So for me, as I kind of alluded to before, look, this is the classic. The Omas is the classic, of course it is. But with a fragile piston, I had issues with my piston. It's harder to use. That fragility in it concerns me. There have been many reports of the caps actually cracking because there's a lot of, it's a slip cap and there's quite a lot of pressure on the corners of this material. It's also not the thickest material they have used. I mean, compare that to Williams' pen. What I love, one of the things I love about this pen is it is like writing with a 360. It's not a 360, has different features, but it's like writing with a 360, but without the fragility of the 360. And I really appreciate that. I think these facets on the section are an improvement. It's also a twist cap and not a slip cap. So for me, this is the natural evolution of a 360. But of course, to the Omas purists, I know it's not a 360. I'm not claiming it. Nobody's claiming that. I just love it. Fantastic pen. Incredible fun to use. So, once again, a very kind thank you to William for creating this for me around a nib I supplied. Thanks for investing all that time and effort in making it fit, making it work. I know it was a lot of work and effort. I really appreciate that. This is one of the pens I just love using. It hasn't been uninked since I got it. That's how much I love it. Such a great writer, such a fun pen to use, so comfortable. If you want one, you can get one, not with the number 7 nib, but you can talk to William. I do believe he still has these models in his lineup, so you could get one for yourself. And that's it. I hope this was not too boring. It's one of my personal pens that I'm very passionate about, that I absolutely love. And that's it. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm glad to see you later. Bye.